All right, good morning, everyone. It is close to 7:15, I think. Um, I might have to change my shirt. It's a little wrinkly. Hopefully, maybe it will just not be so wrinkly soon. I don't know. I think I'm going to change before I go to work. So, anyways, what's going on, everyone? I've got things to share. This is a pro-life channel, pro-family, everything family. Family is the number one thing, right? I was talking to a waitress about my husband leaving me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "Family is the most important thing." I'm like, "Exactly. Exactly." And she came from Italy. She met her husband and she traveled and left her whole country for her husband. Usually women follow their husband, guys. That's usually what they do. Um, and it makes sense, right? To be where your husband is. Where he is where you are, right? Where he is, your home is where he is. I always remember that from Little House on the Prairie. When Caroline was like, Charles was like, "Caroline, I should have never brought you out here. It's rough out here. It's no place for a woman." And she's like, "Charles, and she just built him up. And she's like, "Where you are is where my home is." So, guys, whatever my husband wanted, usually is what we did. So, but he left. He left. So, what do you do? So I love my job. Absolutely love my job. I'm in sales. I'm good at it. I'm very good at it. I have, just because I've been around it all my life, I have like over 35 years experience in the restaurant business off and on, maybe 40. Yeah, maybe 40, because I started working, yeah, like 40 when I was like 14. I started working in a small town. Billy's Restaurant was my first job, and it was one of the worst jobs, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So um it was a lot of fun, but it was very corrupt with all the people there. And yes, I got thrown to the wolves and got a education really fast in that world of not just waitressing, but the corruption in the world. So, what is going on, ladies? So, I am a planner. I am a major planner. I actually overplan and I get anxious. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, yesterday I'm like, okay, plan extra gas, you're working, you're going far, call some resources for extra gas for your work until you get paid. So I reach out for help a lot, guys, extra help, just so that I'm ahead of the game all the time. So, anyways, I love my job. I love it. I had a situation yesterday that I had made a call and got an appointment and got somebody in, and my boss was like, "Oh my goodness, that usually doesn't happen, Melissa, on your first day." This is my test is passed, but this is my first day of training, and I already had a couple people, yeah, that I got coming in. So it's just, I don't know what I did, but it's exactly, but I just, I talk to people. I'm natural, a natural. So next is deciding what I want to do. I absolutely love my job. So I cannot tell you how much I love this job. So, it's going to have to be done slowly, my decision making. It's going to have to be leaning on God. It's going to have to be planning and thinking about, if I take this route, what's going to happen here? If I take this route, what's going to happen here? And there's no easy decisions sometimes, guys. And this is why you have to think things out. I am a huge communicator. I'm getting paid to communicate, which I like. Um, when I was growing up, it's funny because it was a mixed bag. I mean, there were times that you couldn't say a word, right? Even in work, you couldn't talk. You did your job, you were quiet, right? But then there were other times, and I got my communication from my mother, where she would be like, what do you want to do here? What do you want to eat? What do you want to, where do you want to go? What do you think about this? And so, There were times we could communicate and times you can't, right? And it was more of a context of a culture I grew up with where women didn't talk much. Now things are very different. So anyways, I have changed the way I work. I talk more, I ask questions, I, really take a lot of control of my job now, where before I was just like, okay, I'm here, what do I need to do? And just focused on working instead of investing. And that's the difference. So I'm headed to work. I am changing my life one day at a time, totally changing everything. And I'm decluttering everything. I'm planning, in small ways, changes. And so come along with me, guys, and, watch me plan out my life for the next 5 months and make decisions. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.